Rise and shine, family. This is your man, the true Elohim, back at you once again, breaking down the significance of supporting melanated business, motivation, and of course the everyday struggles of this thing we call life. And family, on this video, I want to talk about how not to care when people don't like you and you're a good person. The way to get over people not liking you even when you're a good person is to, first, you must have peace with yourself. You must make peace with yourself. Look at the reasons to why people don't like you. And like I always say, that's an issue that I've been dealing with ever since I was in high school. For example, I've had a lot of people, not like me in high school because, I didn't fit in. I wasn't the type of person that the people around me wanted me to be. I was myself. I always stayed true to myself. I always did what I knew was right. And, I always took the right path when a lot of people around me took the wrong path, For example, when you're that type of person who always makes it his business to take the right path, you are going to have people who are not going to like you. You're going to have people who are going to think that you are judging them because you're not like them. You're going to have people who are going to accuse you of feeling like you're better than them. And when you really don't, you're just doing what you know is right. And and for example, as a child in high school, as a student in high school, almost all of my so-called friends that I hung with, they were into, bad things that I was not into. For example, when you're the type of person who has so-called friends and all your friends are into drugs, you're not into that. All your friends are into porn, you're not into that. All your friends are into, all these vulgar things, your friends are into having sex with everyone they meet. You're not into that. When you're that type of person, it's going to be bumpy for you. It's going to be a bumpy ride. But you must make peace with yourself. And you must look into the reason to why these people say they don't like you. Because if you're not careful, the way people treat you, due to that, it could affect the way you feel about yourself and the way you view yourself. And I think that is one thing that I dealt with when I was in high school. But you have to understand that when people mistreat you and they accuse you of feeling like you're this better person, you're superior to these people, it's all coming out of jealousy, envy, and insecurity of themselves. Because when you're someone who is like me, who has morals, people are gonna tell you, oh, you think you're so you think you're special, you think you're so perfect, you think you're so this, you think you're so that. But you know what? I've learned to stop caring that people don't like me. And I have people who don't like me everywhere I go. And I literally mean everywhere I go. People who don't even know me. They just look at me and frown their faces up because, they look at my physique. They see the way I carry myself. I have people who don't like me, who are jealous of me. They don't like me because, they don't like me because they're jealous of the way I look, the way I dress, the way I eat, the way I carry myself. And, as a person, as a young man in this world, in American society, a young melanated man in this society. And I've had people try to mistreat me. I've had people try to mistreat me because they were upset that I don't act the same way they act. I don't do the things that they do. I'm not into the kind of things that they're into. I don't do drugs. I'm not the type of person that likes to have sex with everyone he meets. And when you try to tell your so-called friends that doing these things are wrong, you know, they'll kind of get an attitude with you and try to make you feel like something's wrong with you, instead of, you know, just facing the truth. Because like I said in my last video, people can't stand the truth. And when you speak the truth, people can't stand you. Like, for example, when I was in high school, I've dealt with so many problems. Like, since I wasn't into the kind of things that my so-called friends were into, I would often try to tell them, hey, you know, this isn't right. You should stop this. You should stop smoking weed. You should stop doing all these, you should stop messing with drugs. You know, porn is poison for your mind. But, you know, people who, when I've tried to talk to them about this stuff, people only said, you know, people are gonna accuse you when you're this kind of person. People are just gonna say, oh, you're too serious, you're no fun, you know, you're boring. And, you know, they're gonna let this be the reason that this is gonna be the reason that they're not gonna like you. And they'll tell you that the reason they don't like you is because you're judging them, or you think, you know, like I said earlier, you think you're better than them. But when you really look into it, when you really look into that, you will see, the question will pop up in your mind. Okay, wait a minute. Are you sure it's because I think I'm better than you is the reason that you don't like me? Are you sure it's not because, unlike you, I know what morality is? Unlike you, I take care of myself? Unlike you, I know better than to get mixed up in all these things that's gonna get me in trouble later on in this life and in the next life? You know? You know, I learned to make peace with myself and understand that, you know, it's not me. I'm not the one with the issue. The people around me are. You know, they think everything is a joke. They don't take anything seriously until it's too late. Everybody acts as if they're too smart to be told anything. You know, everybody just wants to be into a bunch of foolishness. Like nowadays, you know, I've even had trouble. This is one of the main reasons I've even had trouble talking to females in high school. And, you know, because I was just too moral. I was too young. In their eyes, I was too young to be so moral. You know, I wasn't the type of guy that liked to have sex, you know. And for a lot of people nowadays, a woman being a whore is not really a problem. You know, as long as she know when to give it up and all this other crap. You know, this is why I say my generation is really screwed up. But in order to not care when people don't like you because you're a good person, you must first learn to make peace with yourself. You must have peace with yourself first. And you have to learn to look deeper into things. You have to be able to think, maybe the reason these people don't like me is not because they really think that I think I'm better than them. It's probably just because I'm not like them, because they don't, you know, I'm not into the things that they're into. And it makes them feel bad about themselves when they look at a person like me who's moral, who knows how to, you know, carry himself, like he has sense, you know. And I've learned to come to this, you know, to say this in the end. Everyone who's ever accused me of trying to judge you, I don't give a crap that you think I'm judging you. I really don't. Because the only reason you don't like me is because you see that I'm doing what you're supposed to be doing. And you see that I carry myself the way that you're supposed to be carrying yourself as a person. And that's how you have to handle it. When people don't like you because you're a good person, learn to just shrug your shoulders and brush it off. Say, so what? And family, this is my video. Hit that like button and subscribe. If you haven't already, let me know how you feel about the things I'm saying in the comments. If you understand me and you know where I'm coming from. Peace.